2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, the 8th of March, and it's International Women's Day. And a big happy birthday to Cheryl Baker, Freddie Prinze Jr., James Van Der Beek, and Gary Newman. Monday in Ukraine saw another attempted ceasefire fail as Russian shelling continued, despite promises of humanitarian corridors to aid evacuation of civilians. The corridors would only have allowed those escaping to head to Russia or Belarus. As the shelling continued, Ukrainian President Zelensky called for more sanctions on Russia, including potentially an embargo on Russian oil.
If the situation gets worse, then new sanctions need to be introduced. And embargo on oil from Russia.
He also vowed vengeance for the deaths of civilians who were shelled while trying to flee to safety.
We will not forgive, and God will not forgive. Not today, not tomorrow, never. There will be a day of judgment. I'm sure of it.
The third round of peace talks with Russia ended in stalemate as the Pentagon estimates that Russia has now deployed almost 100% of the forces it had massed on Ukraine's borders. There were clearer demands from Russia for what would be required for a peace deal, including a pledge of Ukrainian neutrality and recognition of the new Russian independent states. Ahead of an address to the House of Commons on Tuesday, President Zelensky spoke to ABC News and again called for Putin to speak directly to him.
What needs to be done is for President Putin to start talking, start the dialogue, instead of living in the informational bubble without oxygen. I think that's where he is.
There was a show of unity from international leaders on Monday, with Joe Biden doing a secure Zoom call with France, Germany and the UK. Boris also met with Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in London. They spoke together in the Big Blue briefing room, where Boris announced additional aid packages for Ukraine and teased a new energy strategy for the UK.
I think we're all increasingly united in the view that we've got to move away now from Russian hydrocarbons. We've got to do it together. We've got to make sure that we have substitute supply, and that's what we're working on as well. But what we also need to do is go for more nuclear and much more use of renewable energy.
Justin Trudeau, who had time in his diary to pop in and meet the Queen, also had announcements to make with more sanctions on oligarchs, and Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte had a message for the people of Ukraine.
To all Ukrainians we say this: your courage and your resistance deserves our utmost respect. We will continue to stand by you.
As the number of refugees fleeing the conflict in Ukraine continues to rise, now approaching 2 million, the UK continues to move slowly on visas. Poland has seen 1 million Ukrainians arrive at its border, and many are now moving to other EU countries where they aren't required to have visas, and in the case of Ireland, are provided with support, healthcare and accommodation. Foreign Secretary Liz Truss was grilled by Labour's Chris Bryant in a Commons committee over what the issue was with the UK visa process, as only 50 had been issued by Sunday night.
Any additional visas have been given to Ukrainians since the invasion began by the UK?
I don't have the figure, but I think
it's 50.
The Home Secretary announced that. Yeah.
Are you not ashamed by that?
Well, it's really a matter for the Home Secretary exactly how the visa process works.
Passing the buck really doesn't work as a government minister. It really doesn't.
Well,
you're all part of the same government.
The government has updated the number to 300 visas issued now, but there are almost 20,000 applications pending and 600 waiting in Calais alone. The US continues to ramp up pressure on Russia, with additional troops deployed to NATO countries and proposals for a total ban on Russian oil attracting bipartisan support. Secretary of State Antony Blinken was in Latvia, and he once again warned Russia and President Putin that the continued shelling of civilian areas and the failure to allow proper ceasefires will be seen as war crimes.
The world is saying to Russia, stop these attacks immediately. Let the food and medicine in. Let the people out safely. And end this war of choice against Ukraine.
Still to come on the Smart 7, big trouble for Frank Lampard and tributes for a TV icon, right after this. Welcome back.
Monday night saw FA Cup action as Nottingham Forest took on Huddersfield Town in the final FA Cup 5th round game and won 2-1, so they'll now play Liverpool in the next round. And in the Premier League, 17th faced 7th as Everton took on Tottenham Hotspur. Both teams have ex-Chelsea managers, but the night went much better for Antonio Conte than Frank Lampard, who saw his Everton side lose 5-0 and now face a serious struggle to avoid relegation. Frank says he's up for the battle.
Now, I'm confident. I know that there's a lot in this team. I know we haven't been here long, and the things I didn't walk into the building with a magic wand and say, I'm going to actually make this team that's won 1 in 14 go on an unbeaten run and we'll be mid-table. It's not possible, and you've seen that with managers that change through the Premier League this year. They take sometimes a bit of time to get the work together.
The Independent Spirit Awards took place on Sunday night in Santa Monica, California, with Maggie Gyllenhaal's directorial debut, The Lost Daughter, picking up 3 awards, while Ireland's Ruth Negga picked up Best Supporting Actress for Passing. Better Call Saul star Bob Odenkirk was on the red carpet, and he was delighted to be back to full health after his heart attack late last year, and is full of praise for his co-star Rhea Seehorn.
I'm feeling great. I had 2 stents put in my heart, and that makes the blood flow real good, and I take my medicine and I work out, and I'm in good shape. First of all, what saved my life was CPR, and she saved my life because she was right there.
Yeah.
Pick my head up off the ground and scream her head off.
Patrick and I were with him. Patrick Fabian and I. If he went to his trailer, he would not be here.
Yeah. Thank God she was right there.
Yeah.
The death was announced on Monday of actress Linda Barron. She was a TV regular, appearing in EastEnders, Doctor Who, The Bill, and also in The Follies in the West End. She was a versatile comic actress, starring as Nurse Gladys in Open All Hours, opposite Ronnie Barker.
Just what did you think you might achieve? Throwing bricks at my window?
Just think of it as a customs and excise, my love. I'm coming up late for a quick body search. I better find one and all.
She was known to a generation of children, though, as the star of BBC's Come Outside.
There's so much to see, so come.
She starred as Aunt Mabel alongside her canine companion Pippin and was, as her agent said, loved by generations. Rest in peace, Linda.
Pippin, it's time to fly.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.